Hello and welcome back to Against the Storm Overexplained. Today we're going to do our next settlement. I believe we were heading south towards this bronze seal. And we have this watchtower here, which means that discovering glades does not increase hostility. It will also give us a little bit of extra food stocks when we finish up. So that's important. Now you'll see we can only go from our latest settlement to our newest settlement. So we can't settle anything over here unless we loop all the way around. Let's go ahead and talk about the Coral Forest. Now last time we were on settler mode. We are going to go ahead and jump up to Pioneer now, which requires more reputation to win. The Coral Forest. The true source of the coral's growth is unknown. Contrary to common belief, it doesn't usually appear in flooded regions. The unique influence of the coral mutates trees into distinctive strands that offer various resources. So on Pioneer difficulty, we need to get 14 reputation before we get 14 impatience. There's an average amount of fertile soil, and these are our rewards. 45 food stockpiles, 2 seal fragments, and 70 XP. Now we have 3 embarkation points to go with. And I think I'm going to grab stone and wood right away. I think that'll give me a nice quick start. And then finally, conditions. Because we're on Pioneer, notice that we have now 3 negative conditions and 2 positive conditions. Additionally, discovering glades doesn't increase hostility, as we already said. Diverse flora, as we said. The forest is as scary as it is beautiful. Villagers have a 3% higher chance of producing double yields for each hostility level. So the higher the hostility level, the better actually for my workers, at least when it comes to production. Now, I almost always, at the beginning of the game, like in early levels, I almost always choose the one that comes with villagers as well. However, the difference between this is only, 7 to 8. And I think starting off with some beavers to get rid of some of the trees is probably a good plan. So I'm going to go with that one today. Let's go ahead and get going. Now, our mysteries. Gift from the woods. Every drizzle season, we're getting 5 amber, plus an additional 5 for each hostility level reached. So there is a sort of incentive for me to perhaps manage my hostility level a little bit. Important matters. Impatience grows 70% slower during the drizzle season. For our bad mysteries, Looming Darkness is the same as always. -4 to global resolve for each hostility level. Fog. Villagers with this effect move 40% slower, but if you see at the bottom, it says to prevent it, fulfill the following needs: housing. So as long as they're housed, the fog is not going to have this negative effect on them. Some of these negative mysteries can be mitigated. Piercing winds. Extremely strong winds make it difficult to sustain the holy flame. Fuel consumption is increased by 200% during the storm. So we want to make sure we avoid that. And finally, insatiable hunger. Working in this environment requires a lot of energy. Villagers have a higher chance of consuming twice the amount of food each break, which is going to be at least 40% because we will be at hostility level 4 at least. And before we get going, last video I told you a little bit about consumption control. Let's go ahead and talk about that. You can control what your villagers are allowed to eat and what needs they can fulfill using the consumption control panel. To open the panel, select the consumption control icon in the upper right corner of the screen. That's right up here. There, you can use the checkboxes assigned to each species and item to customize what is being consumed and what is forbidden. Villagers can get upset and suffer a resolve penalty if they are forbidden from consuming goods that are available in the settlement's warehouses. This penalty will be even higher if another species is allowed to consume said goods. Penalties vary between different types of resources. The only exception is raw food, such as mushrooms or roots, which will never activate any penalties. So essentially, I can go in here, And I can say, hey, beavers, you are no longer allowed to eat pickles. But that's going to give them a -4, especially since the lizards are allowed to eat the pickles. So that's generally the idea. Here are all of our complex foods, clothing, services, and raw foods. If there's something that you need to save for a specific reason, then you might want to forbid people from being able to utilize that until whatever it is you're doing is done. Okay, as always, we're starting out with a path and housing. I don't like putting the houses right in front of the warehouse because I want my production buildings to be as close to the warehouse as possible. So I'm going to go out here. There we go. Normally, I don't grab these right away, but a weaver is very good, so I will go ahead and pick that up. But as for this, I don't know what I'm going to need until I break into a couple more glades. So we're going to drop the weaver right here, although it'll be a while before we can make it. We'll make our crude workstation. A couple of woodcutter camps. Now, we've got a dangerous glade here and here. We've got dangerous glades all around. Now, they said that this coral is different, right? So I'm going to hover over this tree. This tree gives me plant fiber. This one over here gives me meat and crystallized dew. These pink ones over here give me stone and incense. So you may want to be deliberate about which ones you're going to cut into based on what you need. For now, though, we're just going to get into here. I almost always start with 2 woodcutter camps, one of which is actively cutting into something and the other one is just gathering wood. So we're going to avoid glades there. I think we should also probably put a stonecutter camp down. And potentially a small trapper camp to start picking up these insects. First cornerstone. 3 grain per minute could turn into something amazing. We've seen that grain can be turned into things like biscuits and pies and ale. Gain 1 lizard for every 25 eggs produced. Well, I'm not really producing eggs. Let's go with the grain delivery line. Getting it so early means that by the time I actually get a chance to use the grain, I should have a lot of it stockpiled. Houses going up, and in fact, we'll go ahead and make our first decoration as well. And our first orders have come in. Wood delivery and trading post. We'll probably get both of these done. Deliver 35 wood, or make a trading post and deliver 5 amber. I think I'm going to start with trading post. Amber is good. 30 wood plus 2. I already have 2 woodcutter camps. Let's go with this one. Or I'm about to. And then finally, funding the expedition. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this one is going to give me 6 tools. So if I choose funding the expedition, it's going to be done pretty much instantly as soon as that other one's done. So we're going to pick that one. Being able to chain together orders like this can make your game a lot easier. We're just going to chill for a little bit. Alright, so we're going to be breaking into this pretty quick. Let's go ahead and start building our trading post. We're going to set that to top priority. Okay, in our dangerous glade, we have some reeds, some herbs, some vegetables, and a harmony spirit altar. So we can either burn it down and get some crystallized dew and some ancient tablets, or we can convert it, turning it into a global resolve boost, which would be nice. I would rather do Calm Spirits. How long do we have? We've got 13 minutes. We've also got a couple of caches here, which could get us some really good stuff really fast, or we can save it for when we have more tools to get reputation. These are the kinds of choices that you'll be making as you play this game. You really need a forager's camp. That's not one of these. We're going to pick up the herbalist camp and see what the next one is. Lumber mill is good. I was really hoping for the foraging camp. Also, though, the rain mill, because we're getting grain in, the rain mill might be super useful as well. We're going to start with the lumber mill, though. And in fact, we'll move the weaver so that they're right next to each other there. Our trading post is done. That grants us the tools that we needed to finish funding the expedition. And that gives us some cloth and some bricks, which should allow us to start building some of our Tier 2 buildings. Also, at some point, we're going to get to 30 wood. But we're about to hit our first storm, so we're mostly just going to chill for now. Alright, we are really low on people, though we're about to get 2 more. And with that in mind, we're going to drop 1 person into the lumber mill to start making some planks. We're going to drop 1 into here to start gathering some insects. You don't have to fully staff all of your buildings right away. As soon as Farliff gets here, we'll see if he has the things that I need to calm the spirits. New year, new cornerstone. Survivor bonding. The people in your settlement have survived hardships, bringing them closer together. 10% speed, 1 global resolve. 40 water skins for every reputation point obtained through resolve is also very good, but I'm going to stick with survivor bonding. It's a nice, simple, easy buff. We also get some new people. A couple of new people. So we need to start making some fabric and some bricks. And in fact, we'll put reeds and leather in there as well as stone. Very good. You almost here? A minute 43. How you doing? 8.5 minutes? Yeah, should be fine. just waiting on Farliff at the moment. Okay, so what do I need? I need incense, scrolls, oil, resin. I am getting resin on my own from the trees. But you have oil, which I will cheerfully buy for 5 amber. And now we should be able to drop a couple of folks in here to calm the spirits down. Oh, I also need 8 amber, of course. Now, selling parts is always a risky game because you need parts to make basic camps. But since I've got 23 of them, I'm feeling pretty okay. Now, you see how 6 parts is worth 14, they're offering me 12.50. I want more than that, obviously. So I'm just gonna like go over to something like coal, and that gets the two numbers a little bit closer together. There, now I should be able to finish calming these spirits and gain that boost. We have new orders. We can either make 15 packs of crops, or we can make 10 packs of luxury or trade goods and 10 packs of provisions. I think I'm going to go with advanced farming, although I don't know if we're ever going to actually get it done. As for this one, 8 packs of provisions for 3 lizards and a permanent +3 to lizard resolve. I like that a lot. I think that's something worth going for. So we're going to go ahead, drop a makeshift post, which can be used to make packs of provisions and things like that. I love the aesthetic of this game. I really do. Anyway, I'm going to stop staring at it and start playing. Our weaver is done, which makes fabric at a much, much higher rate. So we're going to drop someone in there just for fabric for right now. And that means that our crude workstation can actually stop making fabric. Once this is done, I think it's about time for us to cut into another glade. We've got a dangerous glade down here, which is just ripe for the picking. So let's get in there. In the meantime, what kind of blueprints we got? Brickyard is my third sort of tier 2 building, giving me bricks, so we'll do that. Brewery can make ale, and since I already have grain coming in, I think the brewery is going to be a very efficient choice. I do need the foragers camp to pick up those big vegetables over there, so we're going to go ahead and grab that. And we're going to make one right over here by the vegetables. And now that it's done, I can move it around, bring it over here, take a look at our new glade. What do we got here? Ooh, we've got coal. Okay, so when I see coal, the very first thing I do is I drop a mine on it. Coal is so much better than wood for burning in your main hearth that just get it whenever you can see it. We've got large nests of insects here, which I'm going to need the big trapper's camp for. And we have a Forsaken Crypt. We can either calm the spirits and get some amber and some reputation, or we can tear it down for some materials and some tablets. Also, I get -4 to global resolve for every 10 amber that I've got. Well, I can always go up to my trade here. I only have 2 amber, so I'm not worried about it at all, especially given my very high resolve. So I think I'm going to tear it down. We'll use cloth. Let's get going. Now, I don't really have a whole lot of people to spare here. But I should get a new influx at the end of the year. You can't do anything because we've made my limit of planks, so I will drop you back down, make you a worker for now. Let's see. Cannibalism. Again, very useful if you think that it's going to be a dangerous game and you think a bunch of people are going to leave or die. I don't think it's going to help us here. Same thing with value-added tax. I'm not going to be doing a lot of trade goods, so I'm going to decline for 10 amber. And we've got our new people. So we should start thinking about A, more houses, and B, what we want those people to be doing. I think the first thing we want to do is the brewery can not only get us beer, but it can also get us pickled goods, which will help us out in the resolve department. Our mine is done, so we're going to drop some beavers who appreciate being down there to start mining for coal. And in fact, once you start really getting going with coal or sea marrow or some other way of powering your hearth, you can just go ahead and ban wood completely. I'm not quite at that point yet, but that's where I'm heading. Now, I've got so many of these caches here that I might want to focus on making tools. Now, humans are really good at gathering vegetables, but I only have the one human. So we'll put her there. New orders. 10 harmony decorations. I could do that pretty easy. But also, I'm already going to be making packs of provisions, so I think that's the way to go. Beaver resolve is currently at 18. I could probably get it up to 26, though. That shouldn't be an issue. Once I start getting pickles out and stuff, yeah, that should be no problem. Now, I've got more than enough fabric, so I'm going to take you out of there. And let's just do a quick check. Hey, there's more coal over here. That's nice. That's really good to know. We're going to check through these for anything that looks particularly juicy. So, for example, these parts are really nice. A bunch of pickled goods, and hey, packs of provisions. We need those. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go into our brickyard. Actually, no. I'm going to go up to recipes panel. What is using stone right now? I go to ingredients. I look for stone. The crude workstation is currently turning stone into bricks. I'm going to turn that off. I am, however, going to build my brickyard. Probably out here. I think I'm going to make a secondary warehouse up here pretty quick. But I want to stockpile some of that stone so that I can get this cache broken open. Alright, what do we got here? Tools are always useful. I'm going to put a second person harvesting stone. And is there anything else I need? Yeah, I'm going to start clearing out some of these caches, I think. So we're going to start by selling these ancient tablets. Now, they do have other uses other than just being sold, but, like, that's an awful lot of amber this early in the game. So we're going to pick up 15 tools, and with those, we're going to start getting some reputation. And the nice thing is, we bought those tools with gold, or with amber, but we're getting the amber back by sending on the cash. So it kind of pays for itself, if you think about it. And we just need to wait until we have enough stone. In fact, we do now have enough stone to get in here, break it open. I want those 15 packs of provisions. Do a little bit of clearing out here. Looks like we've got a lot more stone here that I didn't see before, so that's good. And yeah, we'll put a small warehouse out here to make their journey a little bit shorter. We're about ready to start making beer. What I would really like is a tavern. Now that I have the ability to make beer, a tavern would really sort of push this game over to the end. Okay, we've got our provisions for the lizard clan. So that'll give us a few more lizards as well as boosting their resolve. And in fact, now is a perfect time for me to show you the favoring mechanic. So I hit favor. It increases my lizards up by +5 resolve. Everyone else gets -5 resolve. So with that, I'm hoping to get myself up to lizard villagers. And I'm just going to wait till that finishes before I do anything else. Boom, done. Okay, cornerstone. Newly discovered nodes have more charges, or hostility is reduced every time you sell goods. We're going to go with Rich Glades. We're going to turn off favoring here. Bring in a new group. And pick a blueprint. We do still need to be able to make flour. And I think I'm going to go with clothier, because again, if we're already producing cloth, coats are very, very easy to make and are a good source of resolve for basically everybody but lizards. So we're going to set up this clothier right next to the new warehouse. And now we've got so much labor ready to go that we need to start repopulating our camps and stuff. So, what do we got? Lumber mill, weaver. Get a couple of humans in the brewery. A few woodcutters. And a couple in the mine. There we go. We don't have anyone who's homeless. We have one person who's a builder. We don't really need the post anymore, but we'll leave it open for now. You are currently going to be mostly making pickled goods. I now need to start being able to make some containers, though. That's the problem. I don't have containers yet. So I'm going to go to recipes. I can make water skins at the clothier. I can make barrels at the provisioner. And I can make pottery at the brickyard. But I don't have any clay, so it's probably the provisioner that's going to be my source here. Yeah, I don't have either the water, the oil, or the meat. Now, I need Beaver Resolve to go up, so I'll go ahead and favor them for a little bit. And then I need to start making some packs of crops, so it's actually a good thing that I kept this makeshift post. I have plenty of grain that I can make packs of crops out of. I need 15 of them. Now, that's packs of provisions. I want pack of crops. There we go, 15. Perfect. Bakery, cookhouse, rain mill I would have loved, but we already have another way of making flour at this point. So let's go with the bakery. As you can see, as we expand, we need more and more people. Luckily, Beaver Resolve is done, and that should give us a few more of them. We also have an awful lot of amber right now, so the next time we see a trader, we'll be able to pick up some stuff pretty quick. Now, over here, we have a Forbidden Glade. We haven't looked at one of those yet. Why don't we go ahead and do that? So we'll go ahead and start cutting our way into this Forbidden Glade, see what's what. Alright, provisioner is made. So I want to think about the chain of buildings that you need, okay? So let's say I'm trying to make pies and biscuits, which are some of the best foods for like humans and others. So I need, first off, a source of grain, which usually requires a farm. This time we're getting it through a cornerstone, giving us 3 grain per minute. You need something to turn that grain into flour. So a provisioner or a mill. And then you need something to turn that flour, plus other ingredients, into biscuits and pies. So you need to be thinking about what chains of buildings you need to be able to set up, and what links in those chains are missing, so that you can make everybody as happy as possible. 15 aesthetic decorations should be pretty fast. And then I need to cut through and discover 2 dangerous or forbidden glades and complete a glade event. That should be really easy. So we'll do that one. Because we're about to get into one already. Now, the small trapper camp has nothing left. And because I don't have the big trapper camp, I think I'm just going to have to delete it for now. You aren't needed anymore to make more bricks. We are beginning to make some water skins, so let's go ahead and start making pickled goods. Our provisioner is going to make some barrels. And flour. And then once they start making flour, we're going to combine it with these insects to make delicious insect pies. If we get a source of herbs or roots or berries, we'll make biscuits as well. In fact, I think I saw some herbs out there somewhere. And they're small, so let's go ahead and build an herbalist camp out here. Start taking advantage of that. We've got our packs of crops, so before we do anything else, we're going to pull people out of the makeshift post, and we'll finish this, giving us another blueprint. There's our tavern. I also need, what, 15 aesthetic decorations? So that's 4, 8, 12, 16. I'm going to need a second person in here working on planks. And actually, I'm going to do what I said I was going to do before. And stop us from using wood for the fire. Getting close to the end of this mine, though. Yep, we got pies coming out. Now that we've got a tavern coming up, we're going to go ahead and start making ale as well. Don't need packs of crops. And Sahilda, you can actually sell me, because I've got so much amber, you can sell me some of the things that I need. Money is very powerful in this game, like in many games. $74 amber to get all the food I could possibly hope for. Neither of these is particularly interesting to me, so I'm going to decline for 10 more amber. And then you wouldn't happen to have planks, would you? No, you wouldn't. That's okay. You are still set to avoid glades, so learn from my mistake there. Also, we're going to start making some of these paved roads just all the way through my camp. Yeah, we're going to make one long paved road that goes all the way through the camp so that people can access different parts of it quickly. Okay, what have we here? We've got our first fertile ground of this map. And look at this guy. A hungry mistworm. We can either feed him and get some bonuses, or we can chase it away and get some rep. It's also going to start eating my food. 4 items every 10 seconds. I have so much food right now that I'm not too worried about it. So I think I'm going to chase it away to get that reputation. Oh, but stone. There we go. In the meantime, we've got a weaver here that we can disassemble. And then we've got a large abandoned cache here which can get us a big pile of planks, which is pretty nice. Yeah, I should have enough stone for both. Tavern is up, so we can go ahead and drop people in there. I think this stonecutter camp is toast. I don't think there are any other stone nodes out there, so we're just going to go ahead and ditch it. We're done with our aesthetics. And I do believe we're just about there. We need one more dangerous glade. So let's cut into this one right here. Plenty of herbs. We're beginning to get a bunch of homeless folks, though, so I think what we're going to do for the very end here, so we're going to drop a small hearth out here and start making some more houses. What do we got here? We have a hidden trader cemetery. If we had the provisions, we could report it and get that point of reputation. Otherwise, we can burn it down for some stuff. I only need 8, right? Yeah, okay, no problem. Let's go ahead and start making some packs of provisions. This order's done, though. Giving us a few more people, and I don't think we're going to have to worry about it. I think we're going to end up winning this game by reputation very soon. Pretty sure we can just let it roll for now. We will have to wait to the other side of the storm before we win, though. Anything I can do right away. I only have 13 beavers right now, so that's not going to get there. I do have 20 lizards, however. So I just got to wait for that to be done, and then this whole map will be done. Lizard majority is done, and that, my friends, is the settlement. Got a big pile of deeds as well as some rewards. We're going to jump back to the world map and see what we got. So starting with deeds. We discovered 10 glades for some XP. We completed 10 orders. We traded goods worth 200 amber, which gets us up to the next level. We now have a brand new species called the harpy, which we will talk about in a future video. A couple of new buildings. A couple of new cornerstones. We won near the watchtower. We won with a dangerous glade event still active. Pick up this pipe decoration. And reef bloom. Well, if it isn't my favorite nephew. You mean your only nephew? Does it matter? We have reason to celebrate. I hear you've just established your first successful settlement. Well, my second, actually. Feels weird, huh? Investing so much time and energy into a town, then leaving it as soon as it becomes self-sufficient? Ah, she is speaking directly to the players who like to do SimCity-style stuff where it's permanent. I like the change of scenery. Oh, interesting. Usually new viceroys aren't so eager to move on. But that's good. You seem to be getting used to this new life rather quickly. And who knows, maybe someday you'll join our brothers and sisters on the frontier in the never-ending fight against the Sealed Ones. That was ominous. I don't know what that means. Let's pick up some upgrades. Now, we need to get this center up to 6 for the next tutorial, so we're going to start there. So what did we get? We get another blueprint choice. And of course, the impatience grows a little bit less. And we also get the ability to pay Amber to re-roll blueprints. So that's also super useful. We just need to get to level 6 and have 30 stockpiles to get to the next one. But we're going to have to do that in the next video. Thank you very much for watching, friends. And I will see you next time.